Yo guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the play-in tournament and what I've been seeing from this tournament in general. First, I want to talk about the Hawks and Magic game, as that wasn't that interesting. Trae Young, as usual, went crazy, and Trae Young has been on a heater. He's amazing. He had 28. Obviously, he's pretty inefficient most of the time, but with the team that he has against the Magic in a real game, I didn't expect Trae or the Hawks to win anyway. But the Magic, on the other hand, have been amazing, and they all played pretty well, specifically Cole Anthony, which had 26 points. At the end of the day, it was more of a team effort because everyone played their part, and they won by damn near 25 points. So it was a pretty good success for them. On the other hand, what we can see is that in the Grizzlies and Warriors game, big difference, as the Warriors won by 5 points, but Jesus Christ, what a game. First, the Grizzlies played amazing, and Desmond Bane was amazing in the fact that he had 30 points, John Morant, obviously with the clutch stuff he was doing. But in my opinion, the problem with the Grizzlies this game was their defense. Jimmy Butler had 38 points, 6 assists, and 7 rebounds. Steph Curry had 37 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. Even though most of them are defensive, maybe all of them, still allowing Steph Curry to get 8 rebounds and 37 points and allowing Jimmy Butler to affect the game that much with his passing was a problem this game. The one thing that I will say for the Warriors is that as much as those stat lines are good, they're also indicative of the fact that you had a team which was worse than you for the season, gave you so many problems because you beat them. And when you beat them, you weren't even beating them by that much, and your stars had to put up those numbers. What I mean by that is, like, the Grizzlies were consistently worse than the Warriors this season, and then at the end they tied. In my opinion, at least after the Warriors got Jimmy, the Grizzlies have been worse than them, even if they did have a lot of a drop-off. I do believe that the Warriors are a more complete team. They're older and they are more playoff success ready. But the fact that between two of their players they had to get 75 points out of 121 is actually concerning. Because in their previous games, it's been a similar story for the Golden State Warriors. We can see that they put a lot of pressure on their two stars to win, as when we look at their game against the Clippers recently, Jimmy Butler had 30 and Steph Curry had 36, and they ended up losing that game. So when we look at the Warriors, they're running into a problem where their stars are just not going to be able to carry them this much every game. Even against the Trailblazers, Jimmy Butler had 24 points, 7 assists, and 5 rebounds to win that game, and they won by a lot, but it's the Trailblazers. You're just supposed to, not even play the stars, but I know that they wanted to win because they needed their record to be better. But in my opinion, the fact that they lost to a team like San Antonio by 3 points and Steph had 30 and Jimmy Butler had 28 means that when we look at the Warriors, most of their games have been decided by how their two stars play. And that has a lot to do with the fact that they mortgaged a guy like Andrew Wiggins out because they knew that they needed a bigger scoring option. The only problem with needing a bigger scoring option is that it leaves less people to score when you trade 3 players away for 1, 2 players away for 1, or when you make a big trade like that where it's not a 1-for-1 or a 1 for cash or a 1 for picks. Then you have to kind of sacrifice some of your depth, which is something that Golden State is going to need to work on next year if they want to make one more title run. Because this Jimmy thing's worked, and it's worked very well. But if they actually want to be able to continue this going and make sure that Steph has a chance to compete for one more ring, Steve Kerr has that chance, and Draymond have that chance, then they're going to need to get better in terms of their depth. Secondly, I loved their defense. I know that I just kind of said some negative things, but that's the reality of the Warriors situation, and they know it. I think that they'll beat the Rockets in the playoffs. That's my prediction for that series, but that's another video. But when it comes down to it, the Warriors need one thing, and they did one thing very right. They need more depth, and they played the hell out of that defense. I saw that game, and they were trapping Edie with Jimmy Butler and Draymond, putting Jimmy on everybody, including Desmond Bane, John Moran, whoever had the ball was getting guarded by Jimmy, and this was amazing. Seeing how having another defensive player apart from Gary Payton or Draymond Green boosts their defense and makes them so much of a better team is important. Something I also realized is that in playoff settings, Jimmy Butler will be extremely big in terms of gravity. When Jimmy Butler plays in the playoffs, he's so good that you kind of have to guard him with one or two people in the paint. And in the three-point line, you at least have to face guard him, because if not, he might actually start making threes the way he did against Boston when they were just blatantly disrespecting him. So Jimmy Butler has added a dynamic to Golden State, which I saw in the regular season, but I didn't really get to see fully in a playoff atmosphere until this game with the Grizzlies, which is going to change the Warriors season and probably the next few years if they end up keeping him. In my opinion, I like that about Jimmy, as he's become now a playmaker and more of a creator around the team instead of being the main guy like he was in Miami. Also, he's making Curry's life a million times easier, because Curry's now getting open looks in the corners and actually being able to play in big games without being guarded like with three different players the way Sacramento was doing last year. He still got 50 that game, but over time, Father Time will speak, and you need to make it easier, like the Lakers have done, for your best player to play better the older that he gets, if he's soon to retire, the way that Steph and LeBron are. But yeah, that was it. I love these playing games.